Or dear students, in Ranga's marriage, the character sketch of Shyama is very important. Shyama should not be confused with the writer. Shyama is not the writer. Shyama is the narrator of the story. So writer has kept in Shyama a typical character of the village life of a South Indian state, Mysore. Now, Shyama is having all that cunningness, all that thick skinness, etc., that is typical of the rustic society of Mysore. But in spite of all that, a society can't exist without something social in it. So all the characters must possess something that is social. Now, what is social about this year? About Shyama. The important social concern which we find in Shyama is that he is interested in getting Ratna married to Ranga. Or you may find the line where he says that he was disappointed to find that Ranga was not willing to marry. He says that he thought that Ranga should marry and be useful for society. How was Ranga going to be useful for society after marrying? People used to think that having been married, a boy will have a family to support, a wife and then children. And for the sake of wife and children, he would start earning. And when he would start earning, this means he would be productive for the society. So he says that he wanted Ranga to marry and be useful for society. And think about Ratna. Ratna was an orphan because Ratna had become an orphan. Both her parents were dead. But this does not mean that Ratna had been an orphan by birth. No. Ratna had been a city girl. Up to the age of 11, possibly, she had been in a city. She had learned how to play at veena and how to play harmonium. She knew, she was cultured, sophisticated. She was an 11-year-old girl. And since her both parents were dead, she was now with Ramarao, her uncle. And in that society where child marriage was the usual normal thing, the marriage of Ratna was certainly a concern. And we find that Shyama was concerned with Ratna's marriage. And Shama thought that since Ranga had gone to Bangalore and studied there for some time, Ranga was better suited for Ratna than any other boy in the village or neighboring villages, perhaps in the village at least. Now, usually in North India and UP or Bihar, we don't find people marrying in their own villages, but we find that there perhaps it was not a difficult thing, or perhaps it was usual because the story suggests that there was no problem in this marriage. Perhaps it was thought quite normal, usual. He efforts, makes efforts for this of with the help of Shastri, the astrologer of the village, and with his tact of by calling her first to take buttermilk and at the same time calling Ranga uh, at his house, and thus making each other see each other, making them see each other, or he somehow uh, manages to make uh, them like each other. And we won't say that it was he had to do much for this, because at the very first sight Ranga liked Ratna, and the shyness etc. which is seen in Ratna shows that Ratna was also attracted towards Ranga, and this marriage took place. This is an important social concern shown by Shyama. Thank you.